This week, let's take a look at the Google TV, aka Chromecast from 2020. So, this is from last year, and this is the Google TV that we'll be talking about. It's going to be a two-part series, and we'll talk about how to set it up and how to reset the device in case you want to give it away or you want to sell it. So, in focus for this week, we're going to be demonstrating the Google TV, Part 1. This is part one of a two-part series on the Google Chromecast, aka Google TV. Back in 2013, Google came out with a revolutionary thing called the Google Chromecast. This is a little hockey puck device that hooks up to an HDMI port that transforms your TV, even an old one, into a new device. Using this device, one is able to cast content from the phone. For example, if you're watching something on YouTube, you could cast it to your TV via that Chromecast. Google would continue with this for a few number of years until last year, 2020, when they came out with a new device called the Google TV. The difference between this and the other ones before this one is the fact that, unlike the other ones in previous years where you needed the Google Home app to control this device, this 2020 version does not rely on the Google Home app. It is this 2020 Chromecast device or Google TV that we are here today. In part one, we're going to be talking about setting up the device and exploring some of the things found on the device. In part two, we will be talking about resetting the device just in case you want to sell it or give it to someone else. With all of that said, let's go ahead and get started on this. But first, I want to talk about what's in the box. I'm usually not the one to talk about so much of the box as most people would like to do, but I like to tell you that in the box, you're going to find the following. You're going to find a USB cord, you're going to find a wall charger, you're going to find a device, and you're also going to find a remote and a couple AAA batteries. Unlike the other Chromecast devices, however, this one does not utilize a micro USB port, but utilizes a USB-C port. So the cord you find here has USB-C input. One end of the device goes to the Chromecast or the Google TV, and that will be the USB-C part, and the USB-A part goes to the wall charger. The next thing I want to talk about is the remote because that's the most important one, and the remote has a total of 9 buttons. At the very top of the remote, there's a large D-pad or a 4-way navigational pad with a depression in the middle which acts as the selector or the enter key. So in essence, you have the up arrow, then below the depression in the middle, there's a down arrow. To the right of the depression is your right arrow, and to the left is your left arrow. So we got up, down, left, and right. Next, directly below the D-pad, on the left side of the remote, we've got 4 buttons. And these buttons are back, home, YouTube, and power. So going from top to bottom, on the left side, we've got back, home, YouTube, and power. On the right-hand side below the D-pad, what we've got are assistant, mute, Netflix, and input. Those are the buttons on the remote. On the right-hand side of the remote near the top, we have a volume bar. And this is a long volume bar demarcated by a little depression to denote where the up and down volumes are, and that will be the physical description of the remote. Now that I've talked about the remote, it's time to get that thing set up. I'm going to go ahead now and plug it in, and let's get started. While it is true that you can completely set this up on your own because of the accessibility settings found in this, the most important thing is to make sure that the TV is tuned to the port that you have the Chromecast plugged in. And that would be the part that you may need a sighted person's help. I will now turn on my TV and proceed with the setup. I just turn on the TV, and it's going to be followed by some chime, and that chime or those chimes are going to be coming from the Chromecast. So I'm letting it load up until you hear that chime. There we go. So if you leave it on, you'll keep hearing that chime again and again. Now, in order to be able to get it started in accessibility mode, the first thing we would like to do is to hold down both the back key and the home key found on the left side. So I'm going to hold those two down and you'll hear a different kind of chime. So here I go, holding down the two buttons, the back and the home key simultaneously down together. Here I go. There we go. That's the chime that we're looking for. Now that we heard that chime, I've let go of those two buttons. And now to bring up TalkBack, what I need to do is to hold down the down arrow on the D-pad together with the back key, which is just directly on the left side below the down arrow. So I'm going to hold those two together now to bring up TalkBack. Hold it down for 3 seconds.
Press and hold both the back and down buttons for 3 seconds to use TalkBack.
I have let go of the two buttons. Now I'm going to hold them down again to enable TalkBack.
TalkBack on. Language selection.
We are now on the language selection, and I'm going to go down arrow and hear the languages that have TTS support.
English, United States. Enlist.
Go down.
Press.
Español, Estados Unidos.
There's Espanol.
Afrikaans. Press select to activate.
Afrikaans. That one doesn't have TTS support. Let's go down. I'm giving them a little bit of time because if it's a different language, it may take it a little bit of time to load the TTS for that particular language. And if I'm not hearing something after a few seconds, I'm going to go down. Let's see if we hear anything from this one. Let's go down. I am waiting. So there's Deutsch, that's German.
English, Australia. English, Canada. English, India. English, Ireland. English, United Kingdom.
Español, España.
No Italiano or something like that? What's going on? Come on, man.
Français, Canada. Français, France.
Where's Italiano or something like that? Okay, as you can tell, most of the languages are not being supported, or you don't have a TTS for those ones.
Italiano.
Ah, there's Italiano
Press
there.
select to activate.
All right, let's go down one more time, see what else we have here. I'd almost imagine that there'll be Japanese, but I'm not hearing it. Let's go down one more, just for giggles, huh? Well, I'm going to go back to the US English.
English, Canada.
Deutsch. Español, Estados Unidos.
English, United States.
And we will hit the select button here to select English United States.
Select your Wi-Fi network.
The next thing is to select our Wi-Fi, and I'm going to go down here.
Thamesh, in list.
Select.
Enter password for Thamesh. Password box, edit box, in list.
Upon selecting my Wi-Fi, I'm directly placed in an edit box to type in my password for the Wi-Fi. You use the arrow keys to move through the letters. Once you find the letter you're after, simply hit the select key to activate that particular letter. So for instance, mine starts with star add. I'm going to show you how we do those, and then I'll finish the other ones offline.
Symbol keyboard.
Hit select,
Showing symbol key. More symbols. Asterisk.
star.
Asterisk.
I'm going to go up to add.
Pound. Add. Add.
All right. Now I'm going to finish the rest of it offline, and then I'll be right back once I input the last character.
Exclamation mark. Period.
I just finished my input. Now I'm going to go to next.
Comma. Next. Connecting to the mesh. Symbol keyboard hidden. Connected. Please wait. Gboard updating your typing experience. System status. Sign in. Sign in. Use your Google account.
We are now placed on the signing in with our Google account. I'm going to go down arrow and go find my letters and put in my username.
W. Whiskey. W. S. A. Q. W. E. R. R. F. C. C. F. D. S. A. Q. W. E. R. R. R.
And if I up arrow, I'm going to find where it says at gmail.com.
Workare. Workare@gmail.com.
Hit enter
Go.
and hit
At
go.
gmail. Hi, Warren. System status.
The next
choose
thing
input
now
method,
is to put in
English,
my
US
password,
keyboard.
and I'm once again going to do
Showing
this
password
offline.
keyboard.
I'll be right back. All right, I just put in the last character of my password, and now I'm going to go
T.
down
G. V. Space.
to the space bar
Press
row
select to
and
activate.
right arrow to go.
Dash. Underline. Go. Password keyboard hidden. Two-step verification. This extra step shows it's really you trying to sign in.
Next, we are on a page that has the two-step verification because I've enabled that on my account. So I'm going to right arrow till I find where it says tap yes on your phone.
Sign in. Google. Two-step This extra step. Workare. Try another way. Use your security. Can't find an eligible. Tap yes on your phone or tablet.
So I tap here, I click there,
Two-step sign in.
and now
Google
I
accounts
grab my
club view.
phone to see if it sent it to me.
Again. Device unlocked. Google Play. Just now. Time. Moxie. Just now. Yes. Button. Web view.
Resend it.
Loading. Pixel launcher.
So I
Button.
tap
Don't see
that,
the sign in
and it's signing
notification.
me in.
Suggestions. Screen off.
Terms of service be continuing. You agree to the Google Terms of
We
Service.
are now
Google
on a
privacy
page where we
policy,
agree
and
to the
Google Play
agreements
Terms of
and all of
Service.
that stuff. So I'm
This
going to go
device
down
may
and just
also receive
accept,
and install
accept,
updates
accept,
and
and
apps
go.
from Google. Your devices may accept in list. Press. Please wait. Additional legal terms be clicking. I agree. Google services select each to learn more. Accept in
About
list.
services,
Google Assistant.
this part about the assistant, and I'm just going to go ahead and accept it.
Continue in list. Search across all your TV apps. To do this, allow it to share
I'm
your
gonna go to
requests with
allow.
your TV. Allow in list. Activate voice match on this TV. Your assistant can already recognize you by your voice and tell you apart from others.
I'm going to go to
Voice
next.
match allows. I agree in list.
Agree.
Get personal results. Turn on personal results to access your calendar, reminders, and more. I agree in list.
On this page, which is the next page, is a bunch of selection of the different apps that would be installed on the Google TV. Now you could choose to not install them if you don't want some of them, but some of them will require subscription even if you install them. And some of these include
Not checked ESPN. Not checked Stars. Not checked Viki. Stream Asian drama, movies, and TV shows.
so if you check those,
Press
you are
select
saying,
to
hey, don't
toggle.
install those, or else by default, they are going to be installed. So I'm going to go up and go
Not
find
checked.
the confirm
Not checked.
near the top
Not checked.
right.
Not checked Netflix. Your services confirm.
Upon hitting confirm, then it's
Control
installing
volume and
those.
power with your Chromecast remote.
We now get to that part where we're going to check our volume and all of that. So I'm going to go to next.
Set up remote button.
Set up remote
Press
rather.
select to activate. If you want to use your phone, voice commands are compatible displays to control the power and volume, or if you want to change your remote button setup, open Chromecast settings on this TV later.
So here we are on a page where we could set up the remote to be able to control the Chromecast using the remote to turn up the volume and change channels and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead now and go to Setup
Completing
Remote.
setup. Not now button.
There's Not Now.
Set up remote button.
Set up remote. I
Press
click
select
here.
to activate. To set up volume controls, choose what you'll use to play sound.
Now, what this means is that whether you're going to be using like a sound bar, you're going to be using something like an audio video device, or directly on the TV. And I'm going to be using the TV itself. So I'm going to go down and choose just the TV.
TV button.
There's the TV.
Press soundbar.
Sound bar.
AV receiver
And
button.
AV receiver. So I'm
Press
going to go
select to
back up
activate.
to TV and hit the select button.
Soundbar. TV button.
Hit select.
What's the brand of your TV?
Next,
Samsung
we're
button
on a
in
page that has all the
Press select
TV
to activate.
selections. So if you have a brand, you want to make sure that you choose the appropriate brand. We're sitting on a Samsung TV. I'm going to go down through the list a little bit and come back and choose mine, which is going to be the Panasonic.
LG button. Sony button. Vizio button. Panasonic button. TCL button. Hisense button. Philips button. Amark button. Avex button. Acer button. Action button. Admiral. Advent button. Adventura. Ico button. Iwa button. Akai button. Akura button. Alarin button. Albatron button. Alarin button. Amazon button. Ambassador button. Ampro button.
As you can see,
Press
there's
select to
lots and
activate.
lots of brands here, and we're still under letter A. So I'm going to go back up to where it says Panasonic, and that will be mine.
Avex button. Vizio button. LG button. Samsung button. LG. Sony button. Vizio button. Panasonic button.
There's my
Press select to
Panasonic.
activate.
I hit select here.
You'll hear music next. If you can't
Next,
hear
we're
it,
going to
make sure the
tap on
volume is
next.
turned up.
And if it's correct, then we'll hear some music coming out of it. If we don't hear music, then we're going to repeat the process. I'm going to right arrow now to the next button.
Next button. Point the Chromecast remote at your TV and toggle the volume up and down.
So now I'm going to check my volume.
Do the volume
I'm
buttons
going up
work?
and down, and it's
Dashboard,
working. So I'm going to right arrow to yes.
Yes button. Next, you'll set up the power button.
Next, it has to do with the power. And
Dashboard.
in order to be able to make sure that we're able to turn the TV on and off with this remote, we want to make sure that we set up the device to work with the TV. So I'm going to go right,
Next button.
click on next.
Press the power button once. The TV should turn off. Wait at least 8 seconds. Don't press any buttons. Press the power button again. The TV should turn on.
So we're being told that here we need to hit the power button, and remember the power button is that
Setup
last one
complete.
on the
Installed
left.
13 out of 13 applications.
I'm sorry. So I was saying that what we have now is the power button found on the left-hand side, the little one on the left-hand side, the last one at the bottom. And I'm going to hit that and wait for 8 seconds and then turn it back on. I just hit that power button and I'm going to wait for 8 seconds to elapse and then I'm going to turn it back on. I would like to believe that I've already spoken for about 8 seconds now, and now I'm going to turn it back on. See if it comes on. All right, I hit that power and I heard the TV made some noise, indicating that that power is coming back on. So now I'm going to hit my right arrow to see if I hear yes or no.
Yes button.
So that's,
Press select to activate.
it's asking me, hey, did it come back on? And I said yes. I hit select.
Your Chromecast remote is set up. If you want to use your phone, voice commands are compatible displays to control the power and volume, or if you want to change your remote button setup, open Chromecast settings on this TV later.
All right,
Next button.
I hit next.
Installing your apps 14 minutes left. Completing setup Google Play. Completing setup Google Play.
So I'm told that it's going to take 14 minutes, but it's not going to take 14 minutes to install my
Setup
apps
wizard.
because it's
Home.
what it was installing in the
Main
background.
user home screen.
I am now on the home screen. And I'm going to down arrow.
Start exploring button.
I'm
Press
going to
select to activate.
click on Start Exploring. When you hit the Start Exploring, then you're on the home now where we have the different tabs at the top. And so we have
Search. Press select to activate.
Search
For you.
for you,
Movies.
movies,
Press select to activate.
and these are tabs. So once you move to a tab, you can down arrow to find what is below that tab. So for instance, I am on movies. If I down arrow, we're going to hear the movies that are available right here from the home screen. Some of them will require that you have a subscription to whatever channel they're coming through.
Mars attacks. Martians wreak havoc on Earth and kidnap
Down
the
arrow
chat show
again.
host 1 of 5 in Godzilla vs. Kong requires HBO Max subscription. Enlist popular movies 50 items.
I'm going to go back
Press
up to the
select to
tabs and
activate.
explore the remaining of those tabs.
Mars attack. Movies out of list.
Go right.
Shows. select
Shows.
to
You
activate.
go down, you find those shows. For example, let's go down a couple.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The women face the challenges of work-life balance. 1 of 5. Enlist 5 items. Real World Road Rules Challenge requires Philo subscription. Enlist popular shows 50 items.
All right, I'm
Press
going to go
select
up to the
Real
tabs again.
Housewife. Shows out of list.
Go right.
Apps. Press
Apps.
select to activate.
And these are apps that you can install on your Google TV. If I go down here,
Pluto TV Android app. Enlist 5 items.
these are apps that
Press
are
select
already
to activate.
installed. Remember, we had that place where we had the selection of those. This is one of those apps that have been installed. I'm going to go back up to the tabs.
Apps out of list.
Go right.
Library.
Library,
select
that
to
would be
activate.
your library that you have things in. If I have,
Amityville, The Awakening. Enlist purchased movies 26 items.
so these are some of the
Press
things that
select
I
to
already
activate.
have in my library. I'm going to go up,
Library out of list purchased movies.
then I'm going to go
Press
right.
select to profile settings. Currently logged in as Warren Carr.
And that's the
Press
last
select to
tab on the
activate.
top right. Now this is where we want to go in to explore the system settings. And that's the profile settings. So I hit select
Dashboard.
and go down to settings.
Warcare. Row 1. Settings. Row 2. Column
Hit
1.
select.
Settings.
So here's what we have.
Settings out of list. Suggestions. Heading 1 of 11. In list 11 items.
Go down.
Set your device name. Use this name when casting photos, videos, and more from your phone. 2 of 11.
So here we could hit
Press
the
select
select
to
button
activate.
here to go assign it a name. You want to call it a bedroom TV. You want to call it a master bedroom TV. Or you could even customize it and give it a name, say dog or 2 dogs in a pond or whatever you want to call it. So let's hit the select button here and see what we have.
Settings.
Let's go down,
Chromecast 1 of 10. In
You
list
could
10 items.
select Chromecast
Press
and just
select
call
to
it
activate.
Chromecast.
Bedroom TV 2
Bedroom
of 10.
TV,
Den TV 3
Den
of 10.
TV,
Dining room TV
Dining room
4.
TV,
Family room TV 5
Family
of 10.
room TV,
Kitchen TV 6
Kitchen
of 10.
TV,
Living room TV
Living
7
room
of
TV,
Master bedroom
Master
TV.
bedroom
Press
TV.
select TV 9 of 10.
There's one that just
Press
says
select to
TV.
activate. Enter custom name 10 of 10.
Or enter a
Press
custom
select to
name.
activate.
I'm going to go back by hitting that back key, which is the first one on the left, just below the down arrow.
Settings.
And I'm going to go down. We're still in the system settings.
Set your device name. Use this name when casting photos. General settings. Heading 3. Network and internet. The mesh 4 of 11. Accounts and sign in 5 of 11.
Accounts and sign in.
Press
Here you
select
can
to
go
activate.
in and add an account if you so wish. Let's go down.
Privacy 6 of 11. Press select to activate.
Here you can go in and change the privacy, what you want to be available and what you don't want to be available. I'm going to go down.
Display and sound 7 of
You
11.
can go change how long the
Press select
display
to activate.
lasts before the Chromecast turns off and things like that.
Apps 8 of 11.
Apps,
System 9 of 11.
system. Let's go into
Press select.
system and see what we have. Let's go down.
Accessibility 1 of 10. In
Let's
list,
take a
10
look
items.
at accessibility.
Captions 1 of 7. High contrast text experiment. Text to speech 3 of 7. Accessibility shortcut 4 of 7. Services heading 5 of. Talkback on 6 of 7. Switch access off 7 of 7.
And that
Press
would be
select
the
to activate.
items in accessibility. Let's go back. We are still under system. Let's go down.
Accessibility 1. About 2 of 10. Date and time 3 of 10. Language 4 of 10. Keyboard Gboard 5 of 10.
Keyboard and input.
Press storage 6 of 10. Ambient mode 7 of 10. Energy saver 8 of 10. Cast 9 of 10. Restart 10 of 10.
And restart. I'm
Press
going to hit the
select to
back
activate.
key below the down arrow. And we're back in the system settings. Let's go down.
System 9. Remotes and accessories 10 of 11.
So if for some reason your
select
remote wasn't
activate.
working well, you can come back in here and fix it again. Let's go down.
Help and feedback 11 of 11.
Help and feedback.
Press select to activate.
And that would be our system settings. I'm going to hit the home key now, which is the second key below the down arrow on the left side. So I hit that home key
Home.
and we're back to
Stream a
home.
perfect planet on Discovery Plus. Start free trial.
And that will be the end of part 1. And next, we will be looking at part 2.
Wow, that was a fantastic demo, and it really showed us how to set that Chromecast up. And sure, it helped our listeners, and that woke up my Google Assistant there. So it was a good demo. So very good. Thank you for that, Warren.
Good. Thank you so much. I hope that people are able to set up their Google Chromecast or Google TV on their own, because it's important that we know how to set up our own devices by ourselves instead of constantly asking someone to help us. And, people have things to do, and sometimes they say, I'm kind of busy, wait, and I'll get with you later and things like that. But with this one, we can set it up on our own.